Thank you very much. Thank you for coming to our webinar today. My name is Chris Fevens. I am the program manager of our Recognition of Prior Learning program here in Dalhousie's Faculty of Open Learning and Career Development. I'm very excited to tell you about this program today that's already helped quite a few students to really fast track their education here with us in our faculty. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what this program is, how to apply, and of course the benefits that you can get from applying to this program. Before I do that though, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge that Dalhousie University is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq. We are all treaty people, sorry. I also wanted to note that we recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose history, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kma'ki known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years. So with that, I'd like to share a presentation with you. While I'm presenting, if any of you have any questions about anything that I mentioned, you can feel free to write those in the chat bar, and Darcy, who's with us, he's going to be monitoring that, and he will let me know if there's any questions that arise. Also, at the end of this short presentation, I hope to leave some time then to also answer some questions. So, if you have any specific questions that relate to your experience particular, I can answer those questions as well at the end of this presentation. So again, thank you for joining me today. I'm just going to bring up my presentation here for you. Oh, go back here. I'm going to hide myself. All right. So again, today I want to tell you a little bit more about our Recognition of Prior Learning program. I know some of you have already contacted me via email, and I've shared a bit of details with you about this program, but today I want to give you kind of a fuller picture of this. So the Recognition of Prior Learning program, it's really a process that's designed to help you to fast track your academic credential here in our faculty by giving you what we call advanced standing. That means credit towards that credential by looking at what you've learned throughout your life. So that could include in work, or it can include your volunteer experience, your hobbies, whatever. We look at what you've learned from those different experiences. And if what you have learned in those experiences is equal to what you would learn in one of our courses, then we can give you credit towards that, for that course towards one of our certificate programs. So for example, if you had been, serving as an HR, a human resources manager at your work, though you didn't really, go through formal training to be an HR manager or to be in human resources, let's say you've still been performing those same roles as someone would as if they were a certified HR manager, we could look at that and say, hey, that's equal to what you would learn in our human resources management course. And we could give you credit for that. So you could be, you could be on your way much faster and cheaper towards getting a certificate in something like HR management. So types of eligible learning, we work with students who have past military training, who have formal coursework completed, as in degrees and diplomas, those type of things. Maybe you have workplace training, volunteer work, maybe you've done online courses by yourself, maybe you've attended different workshops and seminars in your professional career. Really, we'll look at any type of prior learning. And again, we'll assess that and we'll see if it's equal to what you would learn in one of our courses. And I'll talk a little bit more about how we assess that later in this presentation. Why should you apply to this program? Number one reason, is that this program sets out to eliminate some of the barriers people face. And two of those barriers that we all face when deciding whether or not to enroll in a course at a university or college is the amount of time and money that is required. So this program can really reduce that by, if we give you credit towards one of our certificates, that just means you don't have to pay for that course, or you do not have to take that time to complete that course. So for example, some of our certificates may be 4 courses or 6 courses. If we can give you half of those courses based on your prior learning, that means you only need to complete maybe 2 out of the 4 courses or 3 out of the 6 courses, which can be a real time and money saver. This program also provides direct access into some of our advanced certificates in our faculty. So we have foundational certificates, but we also have advanced certificates as well. So if you already have experience in fire or police or one of our other program areas that do have advanced certificates, we can say, oh, that person already has learned everything in the foundational certificate, and we can just put you directly into the advanced certificate through this program. This program, as I mentioned earlier, it helps you to avoid having to learn something you already know. Nobody wants to sit in a classroom, whether it's online or in person, and have to relearn something that they're already an expert in. This program is also shown to increase confidence and self-esteem. So a number of the people that I've talked to that have gone through this process, I've talked to them afterwards and they've said to me that, having a chance to reflect at all the things I've done in my life, all the things I've achieved, it's really helped me feel good about myself. It's given me confidence. It's given me a level of comfort. So, even though I haven't been in a classroom in 15, 20 years, I can feel comfortable going into a classroom because I have this confidence. So just to tell you a little bit about the program so far and the success that we've had. So since January of 2022 is when we really got this program rolling. We've had over 20 applicants go through this process and be awarded an advanced standing. And thus far, the average successful applicant has earned 2 courses through this process, saving themselves invaluable time and over $2,000. So it's quite a significant amount of time and money that can be saved through this program. As far as time goes, usually our courses are 3 months long each. So if someone's earned 2 courses through this process, that's potentially 6 months they've saved as well. How do you apply to this program? The number one thing that we recommend you do before going through this process is to speak to me. I'm the recognition of prior learning manager. The reason why we do that is that we have 2 different applications that students can apply through this program. One of those looks specifically at certified learning, so learning that's taken place in a classroom, like a university or college, or a professional training provider. And then we have another application that looks at a more holistic look at someone's experience, that looks at things they've learned throughout their life, whether it's at work or at home, things they've learned in volunteer situations or when serving on committees and things like that. So we have 2 different applications. So I can help you to tell you which application you should apply to. I can help you to complete that application. I can tell you more about our certificates that we offer in our faculty to try to tell you, which one, may be most appropriate for you. A lot of different things. The second step when applying to this program is to create a Destiny One account. Destiny One is our student management system that we have here in our faculty. It takes literally 2 minutes to create this account on Destiny One. Just enter your personal information. You'll need this anyway to be able to take our courses in our faculty. So Only a couple minutes if you haven't already got a Destiny 1 account. Once you do that, then you'll be able to choose the appropriate application, and then you can complete that application. So completing an application, again, you have to give us your personal information. Then you have to tell us about your prior learning and why you think it's equal to what you would learn in one of our specific courses. And that application also requires you to submit whatever supporting documents that you have that show us that yes, you have completed this prior learning that you're saying. And those supporting documents, there could be a wide variety of supporting documents that you provide here. Again, I can help you with this, which documents to submit and so on. I'll give you my email at the end of this presentation. I think some of you already have it. Finally, there is a $175 assessment fee that covers all of the courses that you may challenge in your application. So in your application, you can challenge more than one course. So you could have 3 or 4 courses in your application that you would like to receive through this process. So that fee will cover all of those. And I know $175 it's not nothing, right? It is an investment on your behalf, but when you're comparing that $175 fee to the average award that someone gets through this process, we've seen it's about $2,000. It's a well worth investment. So how do we assess those applications that people send us that want us to look at their prior learning? What we do is we have our subject matter experts who are typically our instructors for our courses. They look at your applications and they'll determine if it's equal or very close to equal to what someone would learn in one of our courses. So they'll be looking at the things that you've learned, the topics, let's say if you've taken an actual course, the skills that you have, the knowledge you have, and they'll measure that against what you would learn in our courses, the topics, the outcomes from our courses, and so on. There is a possibility that after you give us your application, that we may ask you for more information, or we may ask you to do an interview, or possibly even an assessment like a test or an exam or a presentation or something like that. Finally, once we've received your application, the aim is to get that assessment results back to you within 4 weeks. Often we can do it faster depending on how many applications we're receiving at one time, but 4 weeks is kind of the maximum amount of time that we say that it'll take to give you the results of this. So that's a very, very quick run through of this program. If you have any additional questions, you can ask me at the end of this presentation, but I also am always available to help you by email. And if you email me and you want to set up a phone call or a virtual meeting, that's great. I'm always available for that as well. I can help you by providing you with information about our certificates here in the faculty. And if you have questions that I don't have the answers to, I can redirect you to our program teams that manage our certificates and develop those certificates. I can tell you about your eligibility. Sometimes we do have people that come to me and say, hey, I just finished high school. Can I go through this RPL process? And in those cases, typically people that go through this process, they've got a lot more experience, work experience, volunteer experience, and so on. So for some of those people, I might say, hey, maybe you need to go out and get some more work experience, or you need to do a little more, training or coursework, and then come back. And then, but most people, I say, yes, this is perfect for you, and this is the steps you should take to complete your application. I can also help you with completing your RPL application. I'm available all the time, I guess, to help you with that as well. if you are one of those people that want us to assess and look at your, your full life experience, things you've taught yourself, skills that you've taught yourself, workplace training, all these different things, you may have to complete something called a learning portfolio. I can help you complete that as well. And then finally, for those people who go through this process, who are not successful, and there's only been a couple of those people that have gone through this process and not, been awarded advanced standing, you also have the right to appeal your RPL results. So if you are not happy and you feel that, yes, I should be given this course, I can help you with appealing your results as well. And, hopefully after the appeal, you'll get the result you're looking for. So on this slide, you'll see this picture of me, as well as my email address. Very simple. My email address is rpl@dal.ca. You can feel free to contact me anytime, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So that was a very quick run through of this program. At this point, I'd love to open this up. If any of you have any questions for me, you can feel free to put those in the chat bar, or you can turn on your mic and I can answer you directly. So I'm just going to close this and stop sharing. And like I said, any questions, feel free to ask me. Again, in the chat box, my email address is rpl@dal.ca. You can always, email me that as well. Oh, I think no one can see that. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Try that again. Now that people can see. rpl@dal.ca is my email address. If you leave this webinar and then you think, oh, I should have asked that question, there's my email address and you can contact me. So I will be quiet for a few minutes. And anyone, any questions, feel free to ask. I'm here for the next 10 minutes or so. So yeah, if not, and you've heard everything you need to know, thank you for coming. Oh, that's right. We'll also, you'll be getting an email after this presentation today that'll have a link to today's webinar, as well as additional information about our recognition of prior learning program. So James, I see your question here. It says, is there a statute of limitations on previous DAL experience? So are you referring to previous study at Dalhousie? You can just, okay. So that is a great question, and one we've really thought about when developing this program is, should there be an amount of time that, someone's prior learning expires? And we tried to put numbers on that, like 5 years or 10 years. And there's really not one single answer I can give you that. The best answer is that if your learning is still relevant to, today's world, then, we will, look at it and we'll assess it. A good example of this would be, if someone took a computer science course 15 years ago, and then they wanted to use that in one of our computer, related courses in our faculty, probably then, what someone learned 15 years ago is not going to be applicable to what you would learn about, computer courses today. So in that case, we would say, maybe not, right? But if someone has learned something about HR management that, 10, 15, 20 years ago, that's still very relevant to how we manage, personnel in today, and it's similar to what you'd learn in our course, then definitely we would look at that. So it's not so much about a time frame of is it still relevant? It's is it current? Is it something that is similar to what is taught in our courses? the prior learning. I hope that answers the question. Okay. Janice says, would you require or would you request for prior learning application resemble a CV to resemble a CV tailored to highlight your skills pertaining. So what we do, Janice, is our application, it's all completed online. Once you get that Destiny One account, you can do it all online. And so that application has a template that you basically fill out and you put information about, the courses that you took or the skills that you have, and why you think it's equal to what you learn in one of our courses. So if you just follow the template that's on there, it does create sort of a CV. Now, if you're someone who has to complete a learning portfolio because you want us to take a look at your full life experience, not just what you learned in a course at a university or college or private training institute, then that's a little bit different. And I can provide you with a handbook on how to complete those portfolios and what you need to include in those learning portfolios. So short answer is everything that you need is in that online application. And it'll explain to you what you need to include in there as far as highlighting your skills and experience and such. I hope that answers your question. Are there any other questions today? Like I said, I'm very glad you all came to attend today. We're really optimistic about this program and the help that it can give learners like yourself to, like I said, get that head start on studying here in our faculty, and hopefully want to continue to study with us, long into the future as well. We understand the barriers that people face, and we really do think this is a great service that we're offering to the community around Dal. So if there's no further questions, thank you for coming. We'll stop the webinar here. You will get a link. Please feel free to share that link with anyone else you might know who might be interested in this program or studying with us here at Dalhousie's Faculty of Open Learning and Career Development. Okay, so with that note, I think we will end today's webinar. Again, email me if you have any questions, and thank you.